welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today is going to be a haul of Maison France's Kurkdjian fragrance and first impressions on a few samples that I got as well. Now, as you know, I already did a video reviewing a lot of the fragrances that I sampled from this house. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna link it up in the cards. And I have purchased a full bottle of one of the fragrances that I reviewed in that video. And if you've seen it, you will be very surprised which one I actually purchased. So definitely still until the end to see which fragrance I have chosen as a full bottle purchase. But first, I want to talk briefly about some additional samples that I got from Maison France's Kurkdjian. I think at this point, given what I'm going to show you in this video and what I did in the first one, I have pretty much sampled, I would say, almost everything that they have. So if you're interested in my opinions on any of the fragrances from this house, definitely check out both of these videos. So let's get started with the samples. And again, I'm going to go through them very, very quickly. So the first one I have is Ciel de Gaum. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this one comes in a different sample type of packaging. You will see that everything else comes in a different packaging, but doesn't matter. So this fragrance has amber, jasmine, rose, vanilla, pink pepper, cinnamon. I sprayed it on the blotter already, so let's try it. And I have tried these already, so I know my opinions on them. This fragrance I strongly dislike. It is extremely masculine, in my opinion. It is extremely spicy or peppery, so there is pink pepper, but it's coming through so strongly. There's definitely amber in here, but it's not sweet type of amber. It's somehow very different, or maybe it's because it's in a combination of these other notes, but this is really has a slightly medicinal vibe for me, so it is honestly bordering on quite unpleasant. So let's finish with this one. This is definitely not for me. Next one I got is Aqua Universalis Forte. So when I did my first video, I talked about they have three Aqua lines: Celestia, Universalis, and of course I can't remember the third one now. But I've talked about the other two, and many people in the comments mentioned that actually Universalis was their favorite Aqua line. So I decided to try the Universalis Forte. And this fragrance has the notes of lemon, bergamot, jasmine, rose, musk, woody notes, and white florals. And it is definitely very citrusy. You get the lemon, bergamot, you get a little bit of musk. There's also floral notes in here, definitely. I can't separate which ones, but there is a floral element to this as well. And perhaps there is a little bit of woodiness. So I can pretty much pick up everything that's listed in the notes. The overall vibe that I get from this, it's a soapy citrus scent. There's definitely an element of soapiness to this. It is very nice. It is very nice, but it is still not my favorite. I would put this one in the middle. My favorite from the Aqua line is still the Celestia line, and I prefer the Forte just because it is a little bit stronger. But yeah, Celestia is definitely my favorite from the Aqua line. Okay, next I have two that I'm gonna mention very briefly. I have Amorous Femme Extrait de Parfum, and I have Amorous Homme, also Extrait de Parfum. And I already talked about the regular versions of these, and I have to say that the extract versions are extremely similar for both of these. I could not pick out a lot of the differences. They're just stronger. That's really the only difference that I saw. There could be some small nuances that are different. I'm not even gonna go into the notes, but overall impression that I get from both of these is that they are extremely similar to just the regular Amorous Femme and Amorous Homme, just stronger versions. But as you know, Amorous line is probably my favorite line from MFK, so I definitely like both of these a lot. Okay, next I got to try his newest release, which is Le Homme à la Rose. So this is a rose scent marketed towards men. I was really excited to try this one. So the notes in here are rose, amberwood, grapefruit, sage, and labdanum. And when I think about rose scents, I always think about a feminine fragrance. I think it is not easy to create a masculine type of fragrance using rose as a prominent note. So yes, I was very, very curious about this one. And the interesting thing is that he did it again. This is definitely masculine smelling. It has great amount of freshness, but you can definitely smell rose in here as well. To me, this is not just the flower, but it is also the stems and the leaves, everything together. So it's not just the sweet petals, let's say, but you get the freshness and the greenness from the other parts of the rose. And then you have sage, which is definitely coming through very, very clearly. So it brings an interesting addition to this fragrance. This is beautiful. I would not wear it because to me, this is a masculine smelling rose, but I let my husband try it and he's not a rose fan at all on himself. And he really liked it. He said this was beautiful and he could totally see himself wearing this one. So I think for a guy, this is a beautiful scent. And now we're left with the last sample, and I left the most interesting one to me to the end, and I finally tried Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. So you already know what I think about the original 540. It's okay for me, but I don't love it. I don't hate it. I would not wear it. I just don't enjoy it. So I know that many say that Extrait is kind of the same, but in a way kind of different. So again, I was really curious to try it. And I'm not even gonna go into the notes. It doesn't matter here. So you can definitely smell the 540 DNA in here. But I have to agree, this is also similar, but also different. I like this so much more than I like the original 540. Although the scents seem to be very similar, I enjoy this more. Somehow, I don't get that really cloying sweetness that I get with 540 that is almost unpleasant and annoying kind of sweetness to me. This is a much more sophisticated type of sweetness. Although it has a very similar vibe, obviously, you will still recognize the 540 DNA, but it's like they've removed all the elements that kind of annoy me in the original one. And so this one is so much better. I don't know if I'm quite at a point where I want to have a full bottle, especially considering the price of a full bottle, but this is definitely something that I want to test further on my skin. Wear it for a full day, see how it behaves, see what I think about it, and if I don't get tired of it. But I like this so much more than the original 540. So now let's talk about the full bottle that I purchased. Now, take a guess. Before I reveal which one I purchased, take a guess what you think it is. If you've seen my original MFK video, you will be very surprised because I wasn't a huge fan of that fragrance when I filmed that video. And at the time when I tried it, I didn't really like it. So let me show you. Let me start with the package. The packaging is beautiful. I really love the presentation here. It is simple, classy, elegant. I love that. So we get this white box. open it up. There are obviously cards, receipts, whatever. It is beautifully packaged. Samples were in here as well. And now the full bottle. So did you guess? I got Grand Soir. I know, it's a shocker. It was a shocker to me as well, because quite a few people were kind of upset with me when I did my original MFK video, because I wasn't a huge fan of this fragrance. It just didn't wow me. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. But if you remember, I mentioned in that video that I only tested this fragrance in warm weather. That's when I got the sample, and I was definitely going to test it in a cold weather, which as soon as it got colder here, which it did quite early, I started testing it. And let me tell you, when I tested it in the cooler weather, everything changed. It's like magic happened. So let me take it out of here first. So you open this, there's a little booklet that comes here. Who cares? Let's look at the bottle. I mean, it is beautiful. The whole aesthetic of this house I absolutely loved. It's just simple, elegant, classy, beautiful. And then you have this beautiful ambery juice inside. So just to remind you what's in here, we have labdanum, benzoin, tonka, vanilla, and amber. And when I tested it in the cold weather, like I said, magic happened, because when I put it on my skin, first I get a lot of amber, but very quickly it starts opening up and I get a lot of benzoin and tonka and vanilla, and it becomes really sweet, but not candy cookie type of sweet. It's a different type of sweetness. It's very sophisticated type of sweetness, and definitely tonka is coming into play, so you'll get a little bit of that sort of nuttiness from tonka. It just develops incredibly on the skin. It's a type of fragrance that the longer I wear it, the more beautiful it gets. And the lasting power on me is incredible. I've tried it several times and it lasts through the night on me. When I wake up the next morning, I can still smell it. And it's the remnants of that beautiful, sophisticated sweetness that I smell on my skin. The first time I tried it, I didn't even know what I was smelling. I was like, I haven't put on any fragrance yet. Why am I smelling this? And then I realized that I sprayed this before going to bed and I could still smell it. So as you can see, I am now a huge fan of Grand Soir. So those that were upset with me after the first video, yes, I changed my mind. And I don't know about you, but for me, this happens quite often. Sometimes I try a fragrance or I try a sample, I don't like it. And then as I test it more, or if I try it under different circumstances or in different weather, I love it. And it also happens the other way around as well. But with this one, it definitely needed to be tested in a cooler weather for me to fall in love with this fragrance, which I did, and I absolutely love it and very happy to have it as part of my collection. So that's it. This is my MFK haul and my first impressions on a few of the fragrances from this house. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!